Welcome to Hypertech, Voices of the Industry. My name is Clarence Barnes, and of course, this year at SEMA, boy, the biggest year you can imagine. And of course, so many different people have just come through. It's always amazing. I keep looking up, and I'm like, wow, holy mackerel. And the person sitting in my seat, you've been a fixture at SEMA since...
Oh, for a few years. Well, let me first say, there's interviews going all over the place. I've kind of passed doing that. But for you...
Well,
come on.
I am flattered. I'm a little bit
this
nervous.
Is a legend interviewing
because
a guy who's just been a car guy for a few years, right?
But growing up and coming to SEMA, and you've been so much a part of the Midway and TV and SEMA, and of course, the ultimate insane shine. That is something. No, I love that. I love some of the names and of course some of the products. Of course, with Meguiar's, that's heritage. If you're into detailing cars and things like that, without question, right? But more importantly, what you brought to motorsports and SEMA in general. SEMA is a place, and Hypertech got together and they said, a lot of people who get in these situations want it to be about brand and stuff like that, and they were like, no, you know what? SEMA has supported us. The people who come to SEMA every year for years are what make us successful as a team, as a family, as a group.
Could not agree more. Yes,
so they said,
preach it, brother, preach it.
Yeah,
I just listened to you. It's music to my ears.
They wanted people to come back and have a leg up to say, the last couple of years have been really tough, and they wanted people to be able to say, here's where we are, here's what's going on, and here's where we're going.
Right.
And no better person to bring in for some positivity and some good vibe and some details about SEMA as Mr. Meguiar from Meguiar's, everybody knows, from auto finishes and things like that. But you are a Hall of Fame member, and if I'm not mistaken, I think you've been to every single SEMA there's ever been.
Well, more so.
Yeah,
more so. SEMA started in I would guess SEMA started about '69.
Right.
Okay. Well, Bob Peterson, bless his heart, a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
He was my childhood hero. He's way older than me, but as you get older, all of a sudden you get to meet people.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the George Barrises and the Edelbrocks and I was just with Gene Winfield just a moment ago, Carol Shelby, all became best friends. Yeah. I became best friends with all of my childhood friends. So, but back in 1965, a guy named Noel Carpenter, very famous name nobody knows, Noel Carpenter, decided we need a performance show for the high performance industry. Now, we all looked at kind of hoodlums and gangsters back in those days, but so it wasn't very possible.
Be a nice boulevard. Let's go racing.
But he created a show, and there were like 20 of us. I would guess about 20 exhibitors in a portion of the ballroom of the Disneyland Hotel. That's where this event started.
Really?
And there's like 20 of us, and each of us had a 10-foot space. We all had the same size space, a little curtain around our table, and that's how we all were. There's Edelbrock and Hiskey and whatever. Wow. That's how this started, okay? Then Bob Peterson started his show. He had the same idea. He started 2 years later. His show, he had at Dodger Stadium, which was fabulous, okay? It was outside. It was very cold.
Yeah, so that's what he remembers. So it was very cold.
Noel and Bob Peterson, the publisher, the magnet for Peterson Publishing and Hot Rod Magazine. We owe more to than I think any other one person for the hobby, because he captured on film and put it in Hot Rod Magazine.
Yeah.
They started talking. Bob ended up buying out Noel Carpenter, but the Orange County Convention Center was just opening, and he had already booked it. So SEMA moved to the Orange County Convention Center, but he was already ahead of that game. He said, "But Bob, there's another place we need to go to, and I want to take you there because I met the manager of the place. It's this Las Vegas Convention Center. It's going to be something someday. It's kind of small right now, but it's bigger space than we need for our few little booths. But I want you to take you there." So he did. And they had this meeting, and they said, okay, when you grow a little bit more, come on over here. That was Noel Carpenter who did that.
Wow.
And so we ended up here, I'm guessing the years, it's been a while.
Right.
But I'm guessing we got here about 1973 in Las Vegas.
It is amazing.
And of course, this convention center was a fraction of what it is now. But I've experienced all those. I mean, with the people that made it happen, Chuck Blums, who was the president of SEMA for a long time, and Chris Kirsting, and then Mike Spagnola, one of my best friends for 40 years, is the new president of SEMA.
Yeah.
And so I'm having more fun now than I've ever had in my life. I thank the Lord every day for my life, because I'm still a car guy. And
it's so fun because there's certain people who are icons in this business who have just bring a certain energy. And I'm blessed to be here for Hypertech because they wanted to focus on that.
Oh,
hence you
guys, Hypertech does it so well.
Yeah. Well, having world champion racer, Amy right there at the front is exciting.
Absolutely.
My own looking up to a racing and going, wow.
Sakes.
How, there's so many people, like you say, you got to work with some of your heroes growing up. And all of a sudden you're best friends with them, right?
Yeah, it's really, I mean, seriously.
How do you go from being Barry Meguiar to Barry Meguiar? Like all over the place, names, TV shows.
I couldn't get it by selling my car wax. We were a little company. There's so many. I mean, and Turtle Wax owned like 65% of the marketplace.
Right.
And we had no money. We were a little family. When I got out of college, I was buffing cars. That's what I did. Our entire business was buffing cars in body shops and dealerships. Right. And I would even wore a tie, but I put my shop coat on, and I'd buff a car for 3 or 4 hours to get it looking like a jewel. They'd buy a gallon of this, a quart of this. I got thinking, there's got to be a faster way to sell car wax.
Right.
But as it happened, my granddad he started the business in 1901. He was always focused on black paint. He said, if you can do it on black, you can do anything. So he wanted to create a perfect finish on black paint. This is 2022, so we're 121 years later. We're still famous for what we do on black paint.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty cool. So I'm honoring my grandfather. I knew him for my first 8 years of my life. But as we got into it, we started seeing the car hobby was splintered. We were all here, but the hot rodders hung out over here, and the classics over here. The antique guys were here, and then the tuner. The tuner market name for tuner market happened at our office. We saw these young kids coming. We got to go for it. So we got all the gurus. We brought them in, the lead players. We said, we got to create a name for this. And in our conference room, we created the same tuner market. We held the first show for tuners in our office.
That's what I like about there's certain show business about Meguiar's that I've always enjoyed. And whether it's when you guys would be out front, with all the cars and the big live stage and all that kind of stuff, to having something called an ultimate insane shine, which I just love. It's excitement that has always been part of the brand. I guess that's my point.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? The proudest part of my life for sure is bringing the hobby together, because we were splintered. And we were not working together. So we created a thing called the Meguiar's Award.
Right.
To honor the person of the year for the car hobby, from all parts of the car hobby.
Yes.
And we got the 21 top editors in the United States, the experts, the foremost expert on Volkswagens, the foremost expert on lowriders, the foremost expert on hot rods. And we brought them all together, said, here's what we want to do. We want to bring the hobby together. Let's say all of us from all disciplines of the car hobby or enjoyments of the car hobby. We pick one guy every year to honor as the person of the year.
Yeah.
And we did that. And it went from the Peterson Museum to the Beverly Hills Hotel, the Dorothy Tent, to the Kodak Theater. We have 3,500 guys with to do the Oscars, and we had to ration it. We could only have so many lowriders and so many. So we had the whole hobby represented there. We honor this. We shut down Hollywood Boulevard spotlights and a TV show and red carpet.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was not about Meguiar's. We didn't. We mentioned Meguiar's. It was the award, but we didn't have car wax, and we were just stoked on getting car guys to come together and celebrate together this fact that we have different types of cars, but we have the same passion. It's the same passion.
Interesting you recognize that, because I joke, like I remember when I started working with Hot Rod Magazine. And I was hosting the Power Tour for like 13 years running around and working with David Freiberger.
Folks, only one of the great events in the history of the whole hobby.
Amazing.
One of the great events.
Well, when I was a kid, I delivered papers in Boston, Massachusetts at 5 a.m, and I would do my little paper route. And I told them when I got hired, I said, this isn't just a gig I need or I want to do because I like cars. I said, I used to do my paper route so I could buy hot rod and carcraft as a little kid. I'm like 9 years old. And of course, you got your stack, just like, your J.C. Whitney catalog or whatever, And I go through it, and then to get, like you say, working with your heroes, and then working with David Freiberger, working with all these guys, and you just kind of go, wow, okay. Vic Edelbrock, the first time I met him, it goes back to the fact that one of the first things I ever bought for my muscle car was a Vic Jr. intake.
Yeah,
I remember going to Brockton Speed, getting it, and driving across, and every light I pulled up, I'd look at it and go, wow, there it is. But
I get everybody else to look at it. Hey, look what I
exactly.
got.
But what's cool is that you found the excitement, and it's interesting. That makes a lot of sense, what you said, because there is a unity, and I think that's why you've been so important to SEMA, because I think and it's probably just the way your dad brought you up.
Well, we did one other thing that's pretty unique.
Yeah.
No other company in the world has done this. We created a logo, a name for our customers.
Really?
Yeah. Every car guy is passionate about their car.
Yeah.
Right? They're crazy about their car. So we created this logo and name, Car Crazy, and we trademarked it. And so, I mean, as we walk through car shows, people won't yell at us, say, Meguiar's. They're not going to do that. They yell Car Crazy.
No, you're the Car Crazy guy
say,
for sure. No.
Car Crazy. And it gave identity. It doesn't matter if you're a Volkswagen guy or a Ferrari guy, you're Car Crazy. And so it brought us all together in like an unofficial club where you say Car Crazy. And no other company's ever dialed into thinking about their customers. We're so focused on our customers, which we didn't see as our customers. They're our friends. We want to help them. We want to network them together and bring them together. And I have the unique advantage, I tell you, I doubt that anybody else has gone to as many different car shows as I have globally. I'm not bragging, but when you use car wax, most products are used for a specific type of car. Ours are on all types of cars.
Yeah.
And we do thousands of car shows that we sponsor all over the world. So I mean, I'm in Dubai. I'm in you know, I mean, you name the country. We're in China, in Japan, and in New Zealand. I mean, the car. We're connected with all. So I see all these car guys, and all the different types of cars, and all the different cars show. So I've seen that in my lifetime. Nobody, because again, we're not specific to any type of car. We're all over the place. Every type of car all over the world. And I've seen that with my eyes. And so I get to report on it and represent it. So when I had the TV show, it'll be just for 2 minutes. I was able to show car guys all over the world what car guys all over the world look like.
But it was cool because it was called Car Crazy.
Car Crazy.
And it's so weird because I remember seeing the Car Crazy guy. And it was so funny. I was telling my wife, I'm like, it's the, and she said.
It's like Car Crazy guy.
But she said the Car Crazy guy. This was a long time ago. And this is what she said, which I thought was kind of cool. And when you look at it now, you really reflect on certain people who figured out the branding thing.
Yeah.
And now it makes a lot of sense. You sort of pull back the veil on it.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the big things I'm so curious about, and I bet a lot of people out there watching this right now who are entrepreneurs and people are bringing brands to market and things like that, you figured out a way to scale. You really knocked out scale for Meguiar's and like you say, worldwide distribution paths and things like that, which a lot of people don't think about.
Define that for me. I want to make sure what you're saying so I answer it right.
Okay. So you're a jobber, or you know, you're a developer of a wax or something like that, an entrepreneur. You know, Southern California, you're making it happen. And all of a sudden, you are a worldwide property.
Yeah.
You can get your products to Dubai, to China, to that scale. So all of a sudden, you have to make truckloads instead of 3 batches.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
well, we had double-digit growth for 30 years. We grew more than 10% a year.
Well,
for
that's
30,
and
that is scale. If you
Yeah.
want to talk about it, because the supply side, the finance side, the people side, the hardest finding the right people.
Yeah.
So I went country to country. When I first went overseas, I found these huge distributors, and they could give you instant distribution. I get in with them. We were just one of 100 products or hundreds of products, you know.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So I started interviewing people in different countries, and I would tell them, oh, and by the way, you need to go to 30 plus car shows a year. Okay. You expect me to give up 30 weekends a year? Well, that doesn't work. Okay, fine. Then I'd find the one. Well, wait a minute. Are you telling me I get to go to 30 car shows a year and I can make money doing it?
Yeah.
Hey, so we found car guys like ourselves.
Right.
You can't train passion.
Right.
They're the car guys that are not. So we found little guys that are now huge guys.
Yeah.
They're just doing enormous business in all these countries. I was talking to people in Cambodia yesterday, okay? They have Meguiar's detailing centers all over Cambodia, and it's all our logo, and it's Car Crazy. It's all that stuff, and they have forums, and they have a meeting room. The car guys all come in. They can stay there for hours and talk and meet in the car shows and stuff. That's under the Meguiar's. They're doing stuff better than we're doing it here. You know, so it's been, we picked almost every time they were somebody small. But there's somebody said, "You mean I get to go to 30 car shows a year?" We said,
That's
"You,
a good-
you,
that's
you
just-
can't represent us by remote. No,
Yeah.
you got to be a car guy. You got to like going because car guys talk to car guys. They'll know if you're right or wrong in a minute. And for the first while, you may not sell very much. You're going to have to invest in this,
Yeah.
but it'll come."
Right.
And they did. So we just had our international meeting here, and there's people
Wow.
there. Most of them I've been with for 20 years, some 25 years. And they built these
It's-
great businesses,
yeah.
and they've just walled the market because out of passion and not out of dollars spent, not all that much advertising, but just out of passion, connected with the car guys and loving them and supporting the car clubs. Oh, it's been so much fun.
Boy, I tell you what, I wish I had a phone line because I know there's a lot of people out there who'd want to ask you questions, and I'm going to try to nail this because one of the big things I hear people talking about, here we're doing the voice of industry, talking, asking people where they're going in 2023. How do they feel right now? How is business? And one thing people talk about is staffing.
Yeah.
And the challenges they're having with staffing
Yeah.
and training and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think there's something secret that you've figured out, and I want you to share it. What do you look for in a hire? What do you ask your executives?
Patient.
Yeah?
Passion.
And how is that defined?
It's not. I mean, see, I don't do it as much. I don't do it at all anymore. But I used to, and they're looking for this fill this position, and they've gone for 2 months or whatever. They finally got the guy, and this guy is schooled. He has been all the or gal,
Yeah.
very talented. And I just talked to him a little bit. If they don't have passion, in fact, I'll tell you what. One thing is, I always have somebody go out and look at their car.
Yeah.
Now, I don't care if it's an old car. I don't care if it's a white car. I don't like white cars. I just want
I
is,
don't
it,
like
is,
white-
is it a clean car?
Yeah.
Do they have a bunch of newspapers or Coke bottles in the seat or something? I mean, you got to
Interesting.
get people that are part of your culture.
Yeah.
And so I don't care if they're in accounting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care where they are in the building. They got to share a passion.
yeah.
So then we meet together. It's pulsating throughout the whole company. And so many times people say, no matter who I talk to in your company, everybody's so excited about what you do. How do you do that? It goes to, you got to hire right. And there's lots of people with talent.
Yeah.
Of course, car guys have a work ethic. You don't have lazy.
True.
There's no such thing as lazy car guys.
But you remind me of a really good friend of mine, Mike Copeland, who just brought out the hydrogen vehicle with Arrington and he owns Shop Hemi and that kind of stuff. But
Mike,
he said something one day, and I just think it resonates with you. He said, you can't pay people to care.
No.
And
No.
you talk about
No.
passion. He said,
No.
when you find somebody who cares, you grab them
Well,
and you
that's
keep
it.
them.
See, he knows.
And
it's just the way it is. I didn't create that. It's just true.
yeah,
It's just
but
that's
it
the way-
resonates from you, and because
Well-
I'm always looking when I meet someone who's got an angle on something. You've been in a very crowded industry, especially when we started. In the '80s, '90s, we became a world economy.
Yeah.
where you could really
Yeah.
watch the market
Yeah,
overseas
yeah,
and all that kind of stuff. So here we are.
Yeah.
Where growing
Hey,
up,
guess how many car wax companies there are at our space?
Oh my
Retail
gosh,
car wax.
it's
There's
about-
over 300.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There's
yeah.
car waxes in every corner. We have a 33% market share.
But that's why I chase people. That's why I like dig. I know you guys are sitting there going, ask them. No, seriously, because there's a lot of young executives, people out there. Yeah, maybe they got some venture capital money or something, but they got one shot. And generally, if you find someone, you bump through the 80s, you bump through the 90s, and with the big.
Oh, we did it all.
The mountains,
the ups and downs.
the ups and downs. Which, when you're an entrepreneur, when you're bringing something to market that maybe somebody thinks they don't need,
Yeah, if you're selling something to somebody, now let me be careful how I say this.
Go for it. I think the truth is the first thing you're going to say.
Well,
Give me the real.
I just want to make sure I articulate it correctly.
I see. Okay.
We have great times in bad times as well as good times. When it's good times, we're basically economy proof or depression. Here's why.
Mm-hmm.
In good times, people are buying cars, and they're getting their cars and they're buying. In tough times, I heard this statement, and it's so true. When things are tough, when you have less money, you'll give up a lot of things, but you'll always have money for what is your passion. You always have money for what you want more than anything else. Car guys, their passion is cars. So when we just went through a horrible time with COVID. Our sales went crazy during COVID.
Wow,
They went crazy during COVID. I was embarrassed when people say, "How's your business?" Everybody's suffering. I didn't want to tell them.
Yeah.
Because when car guys stay home, I mean, Home Depot went ballistic, right? Anything
Right.
you're working
Yeah,
on at home.
that's
For
true.
us,
Yeah.
a car guy, he's not only working on his car in his home, but now instead of just getting the one wax, he's getting a cleaner. He's getting the.
Right.
He's going to clay it a little bit. He's going to get some stuff for his tire, for his interior, for his glass, for his,
Yeah.
And also now they got 9 of our products instead of 2 or 3, and so we did pretty well during COVID. At every downturn we've had a spike in sales. Well, at least it stays strong. So, because when people, here's what I was playing with.
Yeah.
Do they need it? They don't need to wax their car. They want to wax their car. See, I was trying to articulate that right.
I totally understand
so
what you're saying.
There's things I need, but I'm really going to go for something I really want.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
That may not work across the board all categories, but our category does. I'm going to take care of my car no matter what.
But it's
That's
also
my baby.
and-
I go take care of my car.
And that could be said, taking care a little bit of your mental health at the time.
Well, it's
you're-
therapeutic.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
clearly. I mean, people
Yeah.
feel an obligation to wax their car. That's not our customer.
Right.
One car wax company about 4 years ago. So they're trying to say, like, they're the problem. You don't want to wax your car, but even if you don't want to wax your car, we make it easier. Thinking that's not okay. They can do all that. They what?
Yeah.
Before clear coats, 65% of the population waxed their own cars. They had to, or they'd oxidize.
Right.
Since clear coats, the best thing that ever happened to us. And of course, on the professional side, it's a whole other world what we did with all our technology.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, when clear coats came in, after people figured out they didn't deteriorate as fast,
Right.
the casual customer went away. And so now about 85% of all the car wax products are bought by car guys, by about 10% of the U.S. population. So we are the car guys' car wax. That's why we're the number
And
one
there's
selling
probably
car wax.
statistics with that might show that they probably, in one occasion, buy more than one thing. So if they buy, if they buy a cleaner, they're also buying an accessory, and they're buying
that's
this.
what COVID did for us.
Yeah.
We bought a whole bunch of products.
So
We're the number one selling car wax, not because of our ads. I don't think an ad. I've never had anybody tell me I bought your product because of an ad.
no, I got your stuff because of you.
Everybody says, I got it from a friend. I saw this car. I saw it at a car show. Or my dad told me that's what I had to have for generations coming down. It was always somebody influencing them I want the best. What's the best product?
For the same reason that I bought Tide. I don't know anything about stuff to wash my clothes. I just did. It comes in a jug. You know the reason I bought Tide, probably till this day, is because they were involved in racing. It's a very simple thing, but it used to be on the race car. And I grab it.
I'm sure the folks at Tide are very happy about that. They spent a lot of money on racing.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But it made me feel, I don't know, it made me feel like I was doing something good.
Yeah.
And the reason why I bought Meguiar's was because of Car Crazy. It was odd because even though we'd never worked together or I didn't have a personal relationship with you, you have, like there's some people in this industry who know how to communicate with people and be themselves. Your personality equals your opinion. In your opinion, you always have a say, like your storyteller, even on Car Crazy. You talk about a car, you talk about somebody's excitement.
Story. But
that comes through.
The bottom line, I think, is we like to buy from people that are like us.
Right? That we like.
That we like.
Yes.
Yeah. But I want to buy from a car guy. If I have my choices, but the guys at Tide must be car guys. They're supporting racing. So I want to support their fact that they're car, that part of them that
it's our
appeals
commonality.
To me. Yeah.
I feel connected to those people.
Yeah.
Now, here's a business question. We talk about, that happens all the time. It's okay. You're busy. Here's a business question. There was a guy who created Trader Joe's, which is a big...
Oh, I love Trader Joe's.
Right, okay.
Oh, my God.
Very interesting book about the creation of Trader Joe's, and they talk about the amount of SKU per square foot of space. Now, you guys have a lot of SKUs.
Boy, do we ever.
Yeah. How do you determine, is you being on you're on the label, you're in the meeting.
Yeah.
I'm giving this to entrepreneurs, and this not necessarily a giveaway to other people who might have a polish or something like that, but just in general,
It's okay.
What was your thought on how to approach your case, like your SKU range, and what you were going to put forth?
Well, you don't.
I mean, I know it's a big question.
The determiner is the retailer.
Okay.
He is going to tell you. Okay.
Interesting.
So here's what happened to us. We what we believe are the best products in the market. We give it to them. Okay, they're selling really well. We get into Walmart. Okay, and I mean there's demand, and so okay, what do you have next year? It's the next year's coming up. Boy, that's 6 months away. What are you going to have for next year? Well, we already got the best product, or it's already the top selling product. Yeah, but what you got new?
Oh.
Well, we don't. My first year said, well, we don't have anything new. So they started putting everybody else's new stuff in.
They're
said,
organizing.
we live on new products. So now the biggest part of our sales are new products. But here's what happens: you come in, you make your presentation. You got to present them, a few products. So they add 3 SKUs, but they drop off your 3 lower SKUs because they're not as good at selling.
Right.
So you say about the net, you have 9 products or 6 products or 7 products. In our case, the bottom SKUs for us were outselling the competition. So they didn't discontinue. So they added 3 more.
Wow.
And then they added 5 more. So we didn't control that. They wanted it. So we started finding out new ways. And so you have now, there's always something new you could say about products. But we make sure we really do it. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on us because we've already got a great product. We got to create a better product. In every category, we got to have the best product. If it's a glass cleaner or whatever. So here's the bottom line. At Walmart,
so cool.
We now have 75 products.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my point. We have 75 products. You go into Walmart, it's like,
Ask anyone who's trying to get rack space at Walmart right now.
Yeah.
She's got the rack.
All right, now you can't tell anybody.
No, it's between
Promise.
you and me.
Okay.
The mic's.
Okay. All right. Okay. Guess what? It doesn't take 76 products to wax your car. You don't have to use all 76 products.
You figured it out, though. Boy, I'll tell you.
I had different people come to me with different products. A lot of people come to me. The first product I ever brought out in 1973.
Yep.
It's our cleaner wax. And people come and they just rave about that. And I rave with them, too. I love that product. I'm proud of that product. Today, I'm proud of that product. So they're all great products, and people are like, they like this because it says Carnauba on it, or this one says ceramic or whatever. So you have to have there's a lot of different types, too. Tire shine is interesting. I don't like tire shine. I like tires that look like a brand new tire, just natural. Right. But you know what? There's a lot of people like shiny tires. So we got shiny, we got extra shiny, we got insane shiny.
See, I love that. That's what I love. It's a spirit of passion. Did you see the?
So whatever
awesome.
you want, we'll give it to you.
You are just such a you are.
It's fun.
There is no surprise you are in the Hall of Fame. You are a fixture. You are a blessing for SEMA and all the people under this umbrella of motorsports and just the passion of automotive.
Oh, you're very kind.
Mr. Meguiar, I'm so happy.
It's been purely selfish.
Well, yeah.
I've just done it because I've just had so much fun all my life.
It is a blessing. This is the Voice of Industry, brought to you by Hypertech here at SEMA 2022. If you're at the show this year, stop by. We're in the Central Hall. If you're not, we'll see you next year. Same place, same time.